Lord Most High is awesome. He is a great king over all the earth. He will subdue the peoples under us and the nations under our feet, according to Psalms 47, verse 2 to 3. Welcome to another quality session on Kingdom Times. My name is Kunle Adelakun. I am your fellow ambassador for Christ, according to 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20. The Lord God is the ultimate ruler over the earth and its fullness. He is the great king over all. He is the great king over all the presidents of the world, over all the prime ministers, over all the earthly kings. The earth is his property. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, the world and everyone that dwells in it. He owns everything by virtue of creation. Therefore, it is important for you and I to know this God, to understand his ways, to align to his thoughts. Because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. He is the only one that can share with us, that can expose to us the purpose for his creation. Then we'll be able to enjoy life to its fullness. If you claim to belong to this God that owns everything, that created the heavens, that created the earth, then you need to know his way. Who is this God then, that we may know him? Who is this God then, that we may understand his thoughts and his ways? Who is this God then, that we may obey his voice? God abound in faithfulness. He is forever faithful to his promises. Once he promised you, he will watch over his word to fulfill that promise, because he is a faithful God. Man do break their words, but God does not break his words. He is committed to fulfill every promise that he makes to us, his children. All that he asks of us is to be rightly aligned to him. That is, to be righteous in our dealings with him, submitting to his laws, submitting to his ways, submitting to his standards, not trying to cut corners. As long as we remain faithful in our attitude, in our dealings, in our stance before him, he is forever faithful to whatever he has promised. Both the promises written in his words, or the promises that he has made individually for each and every one of us. He is a God that shows mercy to thousands, to those who love him and keep his commandment. Do you know his thoughts towards you? I am happy to share with you one of the promises that God remains faithful to keep concerning you. Faithfulness of God to his promise of protection. Do you know God promised to protect you from the enemy that comes like flood against you? Reading from Isaiah chapter 59 verse 19. The Lord God your King says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. It says, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. This is an assurance from God. It is a perfect assurance. This assurance, this commitment, this promise of God, He is faithful to keep it to the end. The Lord God, your King, the King over all the earth, promises you, say that when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. Therefore, why are you afraid? If you have any enemy chasing you, if you have any opposition, why don't you call upon the Lord and remind him of this great promise, and remind him that he is a faithful God to keep his promises. You see how God will stand up on your behalf to raise the standard against the enemy and to put the enemy to shame. If your King is a faithful God, he also requires you to imitate him and be a faithful child to your own promises to other people. I mean, godly promises. Are you a faithful person to whatever you say to others? Do you keep your words? Do you keep your promises? This is the life that God wants you to live. According to Ephesians chapter 5 verse 1, therefore be imitators of God as their children. From this moment, make decision to imitate God as their child. If you do so, you begin to see a great transformation in your life and the quality of your life. You begin to attract the goodness, you begin to attract all good things of life, simply because you are a faithful person. Be faithful to your words. Be faithful to the promises that you make to people. Live a life of faithfulness. Stop living a double life. Be upright. Once you live this type of life, people will begin to notice the change in you, that you now emulate the character, the nature of God, your King, your Father, and your Maker. If you are wondering, how can I start to live this life? If you are yet to be reconciled to God and to be born into his family, God has made provision for you. Don't worry. There is a link in the description section that will help you to say the salvation prayer. Follow this link, say the prayer of salvation, and be born into the family of God. Once you are born into the family of God, like other people that are already members of his household, begin to live a life of faithfulness. You will see the miracle of you attracting every good things. Once people know you keep your word, you keep your promises, you begin to attract every blessing that you can think of. Your Father is a faithful Father. He is faithful to keeping his word, is faithful to keeping his promises. You, his child, could not live any different. Begin to live the new life in God. Embrace the image of God. Embrace this character of God. God bless you as you do so. See you at the next video.